right. Episode 8. It's in your ears. Shaw Man. What's going on?
To be honest, not shit. There's not really a whole lot going on still.
Yeah, man. It's slowed down hard this week.
Yeah, it's been kind of an off week. I think last week was just such a high for us because it's like, oh, Star Wars, hell yeah, right? But now it's just like life after Star Wars is out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of excitement. You guys listened last week, hour and 30 long minute.
It was lengthy, man. It was girthy.
Man, yeah, it was good. I mean, I had fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun thing to do. Obviously, not going to do that every week. But right now, it's just kind of like sitting and doing not much, you know?
I mean, the weather was nice this week. We hit 70 degrees.
Yeah. Spent some time outside myself with some walks and some runs and stuff.
Yeah, I actually went for a run this week, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, my brother's birthday this weekend. Easter's this weekend. But, like, that stuff's kind of canceled, if you will. I don't know. We're going to, like, drop a pizza off to my grandma, which I'm kind of excited about because, like, we can't see her right. So, like, we're going to leave it outside. And, like, it's in Grand Rapids, though, so it's, like, a 2-hour drive.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's kind of our Easter plan is, like, go up there and drop it off and leave. So
yeah, surprisingly enough, I'm doing a Zoom call on Sunday with the family. So that should be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, Zoom has been like where I've been living at, with work and stuff. So it's just not much is going on, guys. Hope you're enjoying the quarantine. Hope this keeps you sane or just like entertained. Obviously we're like all probably on our phones a lot more, all consuming social media a lot more. Maybe this is something that's different. That's not, negative coronavirus stuff all the time and just kind of some fun.
On that note,
too, Oh, wait, this is very random. This is kind of funny this week. It happened. I don't know if you follow Hanover Horton on Facebook.
I do.
Did you see the videos they put out about the teachers?
I saw that they were going to. I didn't actually see the videos.
Okay, they're funny. I liked them a lot. I don't know. I don't think any of our former teachers listen to this podcast, but if you do, shouts to you guys. You guys raised me and Sean, kinda.
You crafted us into the men we are today.
You taught us to not be dumbasses. Tried to, at least. And appreciate how you did. Videos are great, though. So for the people who don't know what we're talking about, the school we went to, the high school we went to, put a video out, like all the teachers saying, like, hey, like, hope you're doing well in the quarantine. We miss you, love you, hope to do it back. Like, every teacher did something kind of like their own character with it. I loved Mr. Mortimer's. Chad Mortimer's a basketball coach. He was playing basketball outside with his kid. And he's like, make sure you're getting up there and doing 60 minutes a day with your like exercise kind of thing. Like, don't just sit around kind of thing. Brad Griffiths was funny too. Science teacher. He was like,
rad.
He was holding a piece of toilet paper and he was like, people said that stock up on commodities and you sure I did. And he panned over to a ton, like probably 70 or so Mountain Dews on the ground. So I don't know, it's just a cool thing. I think people are getting creative with what's happening right now, and I like to see that kind of stuff. And well,
it's like what John Krasinski's doing on YouTube right now.
Yeah,
he's doing like some good news thing, and it's like self-produced by him. I don't know if he edits it, but I know he shoots it by himself.
Yeah,
but it's interesting. The last episode is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean, I think these things are what's the positive stuff that's coming out of it. And even though there's not much going on, trying to spread some good content out on the interweb.
It's nice. It's nice. It's refreshing.
So, because there's not much going on in Star Wars, we did end up getting the books for The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, we got the novelizations. Picked them up at Target. Don't worry. I was careful.
Pick up to go.
Yeah, so I got myself and Kev a copy. And I'm excited to read it just because I heard it's kind of better than the movie. In a way, it's just it provides more details on things. Like, I'm only a chapter in, haven't got really the time to sit down and read it yet. But even the first chapter was like juicier than what we got in the movie. It was like the first chapter is like the Rey training sequence, but it's a little deeper than just her running around.
And
it's
like floating rocks while she's singing.
There's some like Leia dialogue in there, which was nice, and it was just like a little more context to the actual training portion. So that I had a good time with the first like 10 pages or so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what. So the movie, obviously, we talked about it in a lot of detail last week. But one of the things we both said is that they just didn't go into things that much, right? Like they kind of just glossed over some stuff.
They breezed over a lot of aspects.
And this book could potentially fix a lot of those issues. I like the books a lot. I like the novelizations of books. And I think this one, my prediction is at least, is that it's going to be the most different out of all three of the new movies, novelizations of the movie, I guess. Story.
I would agree. I read the Force Awakens one. I did not get to read the Last Jedi one. I don't know why exactly, but the Force Awakens one was essentially just the script, or like the screenplay, if you will, just in a book.
Yeah,
it was pretty straightforward. It was like word for word with the movie. I breezed through it in like a couple hours.
Yeah, I buy it. I mean, I've had I had the original trilogy novelizations, and those were like word for word, shot for shot. I mean, some maybe little tiny dialogue pieces, but like not much. I love the canon stuff because of how much the character development goes into it. Like the one that happens before Rise of Skywalker about Poe, like totally shifts Poe as a character. So for when you see him in Episode 9, like he's different. I mean, it's great.
It just adds a little depth, which would be nice to see in the movies, but obviously they're limited.
Yeah, I'm curious. Even people who like want to potentially get into this stuff, like you could probably read is it Resistance Reborn. You could probably read Resistance Reborn and go right into the novelization of 9, Rise of Skywalker, and it's probably pretty congruent because of the Poe stuff. And I mean, not to say that Rey and Finn, all those guys, they're in the book too. And so I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see the plot holes kind of, fleshed out, if you will.
Yeah, I think one theme of the book, though, from what I read of the first 10 pages, there's obviously a lot more Leia dialogue.
Yeah,
because they couldn't just pick it up from Episode 7 or whatever it was. So that's nice to see, because she's more of a mentor, mother figure to Rey already. And obviously in the movie we didn't get that. We got a couple like 2-word sentences. Yeah.
Well, I think that in the book they're gonna write what they wanted to do with her than they could have executed.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. I'm just excited to see a little more detail, a little bit of the sweaty juice.
I'm excited. I hope to have it probably done by next week.
I should be able to. Yeah. It's an easy read.
Yep. Another thing that happened in Star Wars this week is Mark Hamill. He kind of wrote a send-off to the fans, if you will. Sean and I were just talking about this before the podcast started. Some people are spinning this letter as he's leaving Star Wars forever. I think, like Luke is obviously done as a character. We might never see Mark Hamill in Star Wars again. That's all fine with me. I don't think he's necessarily saying goodbye in this letter. I think he's saying thank you. I'm not gonna read the letter to you guys. You guys can find the letter on his Twitter page. That's where he shared it. But he has some cool little bites in it. One thing I'll share is that in the first way he opens it is back in 1976 when Carrie Harrison and I were testing for our roles in what was called The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, as taken from the Journal of the Whills, Saga 1, The Star Wars. Like, that's the first sentence of the letter. It's just kind of cool to see how it's evolved, right? Like, this is a guy, OG, been there since day one. He's stuck through it way more than the other characters kind of have. It's kind of unbiased. I mean, he's obviously the most popular. But, I mean, think of a superstar like that, loving the franchise for 40 years.
I mean, he's been the ambassador for Star Wars for the past 40 years. If there's something Star Wars related, whether it's at like the Oscars or just any random event, even he shows up to Comic-Con all the time, and he loves to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember during the like press for The Force Awakens, he was going around for charity in a Stormtrooper costume, like downtown Hollywood, and like messing with people.
Yeah.
And like, it's fun to see him like have fun, because I don't really remember the prequel stars doing that as much.
No, I mean, Ewan tried, but they didn't want him to.
No.
And it's just Mark, like, he's got like this love for he's a fan. He's a fan of the old movies he's in, and he loves the fan base, and they've been good to him too, like they didn't trash him. Like, I don't want to make the comparison of Mark Hamill to Kelly Marie Tran by any means, but like even like Daisy Ridley, right? Like, the fans have always accepted Mark for who he is, and I think he's just loves him back, right?
Well, he's got the personality for it.
Yeah. I think this letter, though, doesn't say goodbye really in it, because, I mean, even though his character's probably done, that's probably the rationale behind this. He does go on to say that there's other stories to be told and other, bigger galaxy filled with heroes, villains, action, romance, and of course the Force. There's other stuff that's going to be told. So, he might be done, but he's not done being a part of Star Wars and the Star Wars family.
He's not done being a fan.
No, not by any means. Not by any means. I will say this did get me a little bit emotional, not gonna lie. Not like I cried, but it was just man, that's cool. You don't see that every day from Stars, and I liked it. So guys, check it out. It's every day you have a fan of the movie as much as you do Mark Hamill.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's pretty all that's going on with Star Wars. Kind of a slow week. I guess they did release the High Republic characters this week, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or was that technically last week?
I didn't look into it. I think it might have been technically last week, but
I didn't look into it. I don't really know anything about it. They just released the names and they put names to faces that we've already seen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. It's building hype a little bit, but I don't even know when this stuff's supposed to come out. Is it next year? Or?
I think the first one's slated to come out Christmas next year.
Okay.
Well, this year, I guess.
So I guess we'll see. I think they're gonna start dropping more and more teases as the months go on and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what more it's gonna be. It's been pretty vague so far.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it with Star Wars. Kev, what are you watching?
Well, I mean, so with the quarantine going on, trying to limit how much I'm watching TV. I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been playing a lot of video games. I'm trying to kill my time in other ways, but Charlie and I watch a few shows, try and keep that up. That never really changed, I guess, and our consumption hasn't really changed much since from when the quarantine started. Now, whatever. So, NCIS is one of Charlie's favorite shows of all time. You guys probably know the show. It's pretty culturally. I don't know. It's been around forever. It's on its 17th season right now.
It's crazy.
So Netflix has 15 seasons of it. We finished the 15th season about 2 weeks ago now, and there's 2 more seasons out there. And the only way you can watch those last 2 seasons is through CBS's streaming service, CBS All Access. And you have to buy the subscription. It's $6 a month for if you want ads to play. And it's $10 a month if you don't want ads to play. And I want to give you guys my review of CBS All Access.
Little quickie review.
So, I mean, streaming services are what everyone says is going to be the future of TV. Do you agree?
It is.
Okay. So, my problem with that is that these companies are putting out streaming services fine, but they're not fleshed. I even would go too far as to say Disney Plus isn't really there yet. It was premature to even put that out.
I don't know. They just released their subscriber count, and it's at 50 million.
I'm not saying it's not successful business-wise. I'm saying the UI is just not there.
It's very basic.
The fluidity of Netflix and Hulu, are just tenfold to what these other products are. Disney Plus, you will get into a play they give these pre-generated playlists. I love the playlists, but they don't keep you in the playlist when you're watching it. It doesn't when you go to the next episode, it doesn't skip you to the next episode in the playlist. All that to be said, that these platforms are cool because the content we want the content. For example, Disney obviously is a gold mine because we want to see that kind of content. We want to see all those different things that Disney puts out. Where it gets to the smaller platforms is where I have a bigger problem with it. For example, the NFL Network is $100. What, a month or a season? I can't remember.
Season.
It's a lot.
NFL Sunday Ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's $100 a season.
It's a lot, man. Steep. I'd rather pay more money in a fact of maybe $10 a month. I guess it wouldn't be more money, but I don't know, $100 is a hard upfront cost. CBS gives you a free month trial, which is pretty sweet, instead of just 7 days like Hulu does. Or what, I don't know exactly if that's it.
Yeah,
Hulu does.
I think it's a week or it might be a month now.
Yeah. a lot of subscription services give you like a week or two. So
Yeah,
like
a little
CBS
trial.
gives you like a month of free. So we're trying to like cook through as many episodes as we can. But like you look through the other stuff and it's like, what other shows are you gonna watch?
No, that's kind of the problem because like I know they just took like Friends off of like Netflix at the beginning of the year,
Yep.
and it's moving to some weird streaming service. I don't know what it is exactly. I
Yeah.
think it's like ABC's or something.
There was a rumor that it was gonna go to a CBS type thing.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
It was some small offshoot. But then you got to pay. Like a lot of people are gonna buy that streaming service just for Friends, because that was one of the biggest stream shows on Netflix like for years.
Yeah.
So and then same thing with The Office. I don't know if they're still moving it off of Netflix.
They're supposed to be moving that to CBS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or NBC.
NBC.
It should be NBC.
NBC. Yeah. It's that.
When the NBC drops their streaming service, like Parks and Rec and The Office are gonna go over there, so people are gonna buy it just for those shows. They don't
Yeah.
really care about the other programming.
Well,
That's kind of the thing.
And that's what I just don't. For example, I don't want to have 10 subscriptions so I can watch 10 different shows. Like,
Because that's why you don't have cable, is because it's expensive.
yeah,
And you get, streaming services because it's $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have to have 6 or 7 different ones to
Yeah.
watch everything you want.
Well, and then it just brings to like Apple TV. Like, why is that? Why are these different streaming services coming up when like I don't really agree with like Netflix owning the whole thing. But to that point, it's like, well, it's convenient. Like I'd rather all these shows just continue on Netflix, have Netflix increase maybe to $20 a month, and have less other services.
Or they can just pay. I mean, if, X amount of people watch The Office, NBC just gets that much money, which I'm
Mhm.
sure they're already doing anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be part of their obligations. Is
But to keep it on the platform, they should just pay them more or negotiate more.
yeah.
I mean, Netflix has the money, and if they don't go to a different streaming service, then they're gonna make more money.
Mm-hmm. I do like what some channels do. I use the channel because it's literally like the TV channel. So for example, Charlie and I also watch Supernatural, another one of her favorite shows. I really like the show a lot. Once season 15 is done, I'll probably do a review of the series on the podcast. If you guys even want to hear that, I love the show. Recommend it. If you like thriller stuff, sci-fi, it's fun. It's a fun show to watch. So Supernatural didn't get to finish its season finale because of the coronavirus stuff. They were shooting it and they had to cancel shooting. So the season's done other than the finale, which is all we really kind of care about because it's the last season ever to be made and we got to know how it wraps up. So Charlie and I aren't watching the show right now because as it airs, we know it's just not going to be there at the end. But to that point, CW puts the last 5 episodes of the show that's been out, like as they air, free on their website to watch. So like you don't need a Comcast account, you don't need anything. There's no money up front. There's ads every now and then, like where they would actually play in a TV, like if you're watching on TV. But like, it's sweet. You literally just go on the CW app, CW.com, you hook your laptop to TV, and it's just like there. Last 5 episodes. So it's gonna be a little bit weird because we're gonna have more than 5 episodes to watch once the whole thing's done. But regardless, like it's just that to me feels better. It feels better that like the company, if you want to see anything farther back, you have to like go over to Amazon Video and rent it for like $1 or whatever. But like, the CBS thing, it's like, I appreciate them giving me 2 full seasons of 24 episode hour-long shows for free for a month, which is sweet. That's a lot of content, but I would rather it just be kind of on their website all the time. It is being aired all the time, and there's reruns all the time on TV. And I just like all these different things are just like,
Well, it's like local stations too. It's not like it's ESPN or something.
well, yeah, it's not selective. It's not, I mean, this is nationally broad. This is primetime drama TV. Like it. And then to not do it with your other shows too, or not to the same extent as the other shows, I don't know. It's just like, seems like a money grab. CBS All Access
Of course
is
it is.
fine. I really like how they have a PlayStation app that makes it really easy for me to watch it, but it's clunky. It's not good. It doesn't remember where you're watching. You hit the resume button and it starts the episode over. It's just like stuff like that all the time. It's just, I don't know. It's not there yet, man. Not there yet. But I really just hope to see some type of conglomerate, to be completely honest, where it's like, maybe this will never probably happen, but like ABC, NBC, and CBS come together. They do their own streaming package where all of these sitcom, maybe like Friends and The Office and, NCIS, all these different types of shows, right, go into one platform that's not Netflix. it's kind of like the Netflix's other half, because Netflix to me is going to move to its original content. Like,
Oh,
that's where
it
their money
definitely
is.
is.
And that's fine. Like that, they have a market for it.
And
Like
they put out some
with
quality stuff.
Tiger King. Is Tiger King technically Netflix?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Tiger King, Sean watched the whole thing already, and he got me into it. I've only watched the first 4 episodes, but I have a thing I want to say about Tiger King. I don't want to like dwell on it too much. We can do a review when I'm done with it, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk spoilers and stuff yet.
Yeah, I don't really know what happens to these people.
Every episode is crazier than the next. This is also kind of late. Tiger King's been out for a while. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. So
but as you guys know, listening, it's wild.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I have theory. So I wrote in the show notes, Tiger King is like apple pie for Americans.
Okay, go on.
So Americans like things simple. They like it sweet. They want a little bit of flash to it. They want it to be like, okay, there's some pizzazz. Whoa, we bring out the apple pie. But they just want to enjoy it. They don't care about anything else. They just want their apple pie because it's what they like. Tiger King is a weird off-the-wall show about people doing crazy shit, just like, the Ted Bundy stuff, just like 13 Reasons Why, and now Tiger King, right? These different types of Netflix shows that come out every now and then, they're crazy off-the-wall stuff that you just kind of expect now, and people are going to eat it like crazy because it's just what they want. They want the apple pie. And it's just like, I was expecting and I was waiting for Netflix to send out a show like this, to be completely honest. It's perfect timing for it too, quarantine happening, stuff like that. I don't know. To me, it just seems like they teed it up. Like, it's just another crazy off-the-wall show that Netflix is going to put out. Call me an old man. Call me whatever you want. But it's a formula now. I think they're just going to try to keep finding crazier, wilder shit to put out in a documentary-style format.
Well, that's because that's what people want to watch.
Well, I get that.
It's interesting content. It's not. It's unique. It's not just cookie cutter.
And I agree.
Documentary.
And I agree. And this is like Love Is Blind. Like, it's good. I enjoy the content. I just predict that Netflix is always going to put out something like this, and it's apple pie. It's what you expect to see. It's what, you go to Thanksgiving, right? What kind of pie do you want there? I mean, everyone wants pumpkin or apple, right?
Maybe a cherry.
But you expect pie, right? You want pie. It's Thanksgiving. You're going to watch Lions football. You're going to eat turkey.
Well, I want the green bean casserole, just for the record.
Yeah.
Big green bean casserole guy.
Yeah, you are. But that should be your gamer tag, green bean casserole. I said that since day one.
That's not gonna be it.
But anyway, Tiger King, man, it's good. I like it. It's just expected. I've been waiting for last year was the Ted Bundy thing. This time of year, this year it's Tiger King.
But I don't think the Ted Bundy thing is exclusive to Netflix. People have been obsessed with murder mystery, intrigue, kind of stuff like that for years.
Yeah, but it's like the docu-series type, right? Like, we're gonna follow a guy.
It's been done before. That's not new.
No,
the Ted Bundy documentary isn't new.
But the docu-series. So there's multiple episodes of.
Yeah, the format is just evolving.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's just the Netflix game, if you will. This is what I wanted to see from them. This is what everyone wanted to see from them. It's funny though. I will say. I think there's 2 things in this world right now that can boost your confidence. 1, go to Walmart, or 2, watch Tiger King. And if you know.
Just wait, man.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
wait.
I'm curious. I do like the stories, so I want to watch the whole thing.
Takes a turn.
Yeah.
We're getting another episode though, allegedly, like this week or next week.
That'd be sweet.
But you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it's about yet.
I don't. But yeah, man. Sorry I talked a little bit about what I was watching, but what do you got going on?
So, I watched WrestleMania a little bit last week.
Nice.
Last weekend. Not a lot. I watched only like a little bit. It was on in the background. But WWE Network is like their streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
So they have every
Classic.
pay-per-view. Right. They have. It kind of makes sense for WWE though. I think it's a smart move.
Well, that's pay-per-view. That's a little bit different. But yeah, I agree.
They have every single pay-per-view ever back cataloged.
That's cool. That's
so
really
you can watch I went to WrestleMania 23. It was in Detroit. It was at Ford Field back in 2007 or 8 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's on there. Like I can just watch it. Like
That's
that's pretty. It's cool. Like
That's awesome.
that's awesome.
You have to scour the internet for it.
Right, and find like bootleg, stuff.
Yeah.
I also have like the Steelbook DVD at home.
Wow.
Just saying. But WrestleMania was free. Usually the pay-per-views you still have to pay for. It's like ESPN Plus with boxing.
Okay.
You have to
Yeah.
you have to pay that subscription to have access to buy it. It's kind of money grabby, but it's only like $10 a month.
Yeah.
So I watched WrestleMania, and obviously there's no fans because of the corona and all that. And it was interesting.
How was that experience?
It was weird, man. It's still weird. We talked about a couple weeks ago how WWE is weird with no crowd, because that's like kind of part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to like the crowd pops and the chanting and the counting and like stuff like that. It's just weird. It was also like what's the word I'm looking for? It was produced more.
Oh, really?
So like the Undertaker had a match with AJ Styles or something.
Yeah.
And like Undertaker's big WrestleMania name.
Yeah.
He like that's his thing. They had like this boneyard match, is what they called it. Nobody knew what the hell it was. Because like that's kind of his thing. He like kills people. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of campy, right? But they had like an actually like edited match that looked like it looked like a TV show.
Really?
It was like choreographed. Apparently it took them like 8 hours to film.
Huh.
It was like an actual production.
So they finally owned up to the fact that they're not really wrestling.
Really? Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of people that I like at least like read about
Mhm.
loved it.
Hmm.
Because like Undertaker's got like this kind of like, not mystical thing going on for him, but he's got like a
Yeah.
supernatural thing to him. So like he was like, so the how you win this match, apparently you're gonna love this,
Great.
is that there's a grave dug, and you gotta put your guy in the grave, and then there's like a like a backhoe, and you dump dirt on him, and that's how you win.
Oh my gosh.
So like Undertaker's laying down there, and like homeboy's about to dump the dirt on him, and then he like shows up behind him out of nowhere, and it's like super campy, but it was like
Yeah.
kind of fun. People loved it.
Did you watch it then?
I watched part of it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is interesting." But I was on a Zoom call. Go figure.
Okay.
But they did that with like a John Cena match too, and this one kind of got ridiculed because it's really goofy.
Mm.
But it was like John Cena versus like this fiend character, and he's a Bray Wyatt, but
Great.
he like has this other alter ego character. It was really weird. But like the match was also produced, but it was like a trip through like not WrestleMania history, but like WWE history.
Oh.
So they like plucked John Cena in different like eras of WWE.
Wow.
Like the heyday, like old school Raw, his like debut, and like it was kind of interesting if you like think about it,
Yeah.
because I don't know, wrestling's kind of interesting, but they book like their favorite guys to win a lot, and they kind of what they call burying new guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nobody can like reach the height of John Cena,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of his fault. Was essentially the point of the match. Like Bray
Wow.
Wyatt was showing him how he failed the WWE by being on the top for so long,
Wow.
and how he buried all these superstars, and how like WWE is like.
Like The Rock.
Well, he didn't really. Yeah, but he's like today's Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock would never lose. Hulk Hogan would never lose.
Yeah.
He's always the good guy. He's always the guy you root for. He's always the guy kids buy T-shirts of.
Yeah.
And they don't let other people win and get popular because you gotta pump the number one guy.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he took him back through like some of like his like mess ups and like what he would consider like, toxic to WWE.
Huh.
And it was kind of wild. Like the match itself was stupid. I don't know. I thought it was kind of campy. It was like really weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was kind of interesting. But there's also like documentaries on there, which are kind of interesting. So one of my favorites growing up, I actually met this guy and got his autograph, is Edge. His name's Edge. WWE guys know Edge. He's a savage. But he put out a documentary about his like return, right? He had double neck fusion surgery like 9 years ago.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's got like a metal bar on his spine from like C5 to like C2 or 3 or something like that.
Jeez.
It's crazy. He told me he'll never wrestle again. He was forced to retire after WrestleMania like 9 years ago. So homie's been like doing stuff. He's been like acting. I know you don't give a shit about this. I can see it on your face. You don't give a single fuck about anything I'm saying. You're like, wow, that's crazy. Holy shit. But it's kind of wild. He broke his neck.
Hey, that's big.
And he
that's
was
bi-
told he was
I'm
gonna wrestle again, right?
It's not that
So
I
he was
don't
doing, like,
care
He was
about
like
it.
acting and doing all that kind of stuff. And then he got like a test, and they're like, how do you feel, man? He's like, I feel great. And then he got back in the ring, right? So long
After a
story
broken neck.
yeah. So long story short, it's like the story of how he got back in shape to like get back in the ring, and then he made his big return at like Royal Rumble this past year, and it was fucking nuts, dude. It was crazy
Wow.
because Royal Rumble's full of surprises and stuff, and shows up, they play his music, and the whole like that's the thing with the crowd.
Yeah.
That would not have had an impact without a crowd there, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
And a crowd that knows,
the
right?
place exploded, man.
Yeah.
And he kept it all under wraps. That was like a part of the documentary too. He's like, everything nowadays leaks. He
Mhm.
goes, so we got to keep this like hush hush. Like they snuck him around. They put like hoods on him, so you couldn't like tell who was like meeting with who.
Yeah.
And then when he got to like the venue, he put like his hood up and he like sat in like a random room away from all the superstars, away from all the fans.
Wow.
They hit him away, and
That's
then he just
pretty
like
cool.
shows up, and it was crazy. But WWE Network kind of wild. I think I'm gonna keep it for the month.
Yeah.
and
How
watch the
much is in the
content.
month?
I think it's like $10,
Yeah.
$8 or
Yeah.
something like
See,
that.
that makes sense. I like that more. I'd rather buy that streaming service because
It's unique content. It's not the King of Queens and
well, it's like so.
Criminal Minds.
I don't want to just keep crapping on the CBS network because I like it. I do like it. But for example, there's like 10 shows on there. There's not many, and it's like
And it's $10 a
all
month.
the same. Yeah.
I'm
well,
not paying.
Well, it's $10 a month for the ad-free version.
Oh, but still $5. That's 50 cents a show.
Yeah. Well, it's like that, and then so for example, it's like NCIS Los Angeles, NCIS New Orleans, and then it's like Hawaii 5-0, and like, okay, so we're starting to get to the same show.
You're paying for
7
the same
times?
show. Yeah.
Like, and not to say that they're all the same because they have the different storylines and everything, but they're all that same formula show of like someone dies, someone's got to go in and do it, cops versus bad guys. It gets old. WWE Network, as much as it's the same thing for the last however many years, it's different every year. There's a storyline, there's a fan base, and it's like something you would pay a lot of money to watch, right? I mean, pay-per-view WWE
It's like
matches.
$50 though
Yeah.
for a pay-per-view, I think.
And so they're just gonna let that on their service for $10 a month.
But you still got to pay for the pay-per-view. But yeah,
Yeah.
like if it airs
Well-
on Sunday, I think Monday it goes in the backlog.
Yeah.
So you just can't watch it live.
So what? I mean, it's sweet.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah, like that's.
Well, then like if you if you're in quarantine right now, you can catch up on the storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a soap opera, essentially.
Oh yeah.
It's all pre-written and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
That's
I don't
why.
know.
That's why I give it crap. I don't hate the WWE. I just wasn't raised around it.
so I was a big fan for a number of years there.
Yeah, I watched Monster Trucks instead. So,
Yeah, because you were that kid.
but anyway,
It's always got a piece of my heart. WWE's got a small piece of my heart still.
it's fake. Anyway, so
You jump off a steel cage 30 feet in the air and land on a table that has a guy laying on it. Tell me that's fake.
I'm not gonna do that because I'm not brain dead.
You're also not entertaining. Anyway, moving on. I'm also watching Parks and Rec. You like Parks and Rec?
Love Parks.
I
and
guess
Rec.
I'm going to stop talking about shit you don't care about.
Oh my
I'm going to make
gosh.
that a note. If Kev doesn't give a shit, I'm going to pre-screen everything I talk about.
No, stop it.
But rewatching Parks and Rec.
Great
'cause
show.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm indecisive about starting a new show because it's kind of a big commitment.
Why? There's all the time in the
Because
world
I'm
right
like behind on stuff, Like I'm 3 seasons down on Ozark. I am like 2 seasons down on All American.
now. You watched 2 seasons of You in a 3-day span last week.
Yeah, but that's different, man. I don't know.
What's these other shows like you can get into them like that?
When I heard Money Heist is kind of wild, but there's 7 seasons or something crazy.
They're rumoring or whatever new episode of Lucifer's coming out on Netflix. Like
Yeah.
next week or
Yeah, I
something like
heard
that.
that.
I am pumped, and Charlie and I were. I was not up to date on Lucifer at all.
Mhm.
Until like 2 months ago, we watched all 4 seasons in like 3 weeks. We watched them all like
Yeah.
crazy fast.
I really just don't sit down and watch a lot of TV either.
No, I mean neither do we. But like,
Mhm.
it's easy to cook through 3 or 4 episodes a day while you're eating dinner and whatnot. And you catch up on those shows, man. Like it's.
I just don't know what to pick though. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think there's so much good stuff out there right now, man. Pick something. I'm personally a fan of the formula shows. You know that about me. People on the podcast, you've heard that about me. I like them because I can consume them easier. And the overarching story is typically more in I don't want to say inclusive, but the overarching story typically hits harder than a show that's like 10 episodes and the whole thing's meat, right?
Yeah, there's more time for it to breathe and
There's definitely more time for and you just that wondering feeling. Like right now we're at NCIS is like crazy. Even though the next episode we watch, someone's gonna die at the beginning and they're gonna figure it out. But at the end of the episode, there's gonna be another nugget, and it's like holy crap! And
right.
then,
Every episode's got a nugget, but not every episode is like
So that's
That's the thing I'm like nervous about with like Ozark, because all I've heard about Ozark is I heard it's really good, but I heard it's super dense, and you have to just be like locked in, focused.
Yeah, I don't like those.
For the whole time.
I do like those shows.
And that's why I'm watching like Parks and Rec, 'cause I can have it on like in the background. I can like casually snack and check my phone and do all that kind of stuff. I'm not missing anything. I've seen it 100 times.
Yeah,
it's less stress.
I do like.
Not that watching shows are stressful, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Depends if they're good or not. But so that's where I like. That's where I'm really into like the supernatural and the NCIS stuff right now for that same reason. It's like you can be in tune with it, but you don't have to be like I will still make dinner or whatever while the TV's playing. Right.
Because if you miss an episode, it's not like, okay, give me 40 minutes to explain what just happened.
Well, I just asked Charlie, hey, like anything big happened in the episode?
Right. That's the thing.
I mean, this is a little like it happened, but nothing.
Like if you miss 20 minutes of Ozark, I'm sure it would take 20 minutes to explain what happened.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's for people, but like not me right now. And if my suggestion, man, is like find a show you've always been interested to watch, give it the old three episode try, man, and like review on the podcast, because like that's kind of what we started doing with like we watched like the first few episodes of Altered Carbon. It's the same thing. It's like too much. It's like I can't.
Well, it's like you got to be in the mood for it. That's what I feel like.
Witcher, same thing. I want to really be in The Witcher.
I totally forgot about that show.
You could watch that one.
Great title. The Witcher. I like that.
It's spelled different.
I know it's spelled different, but it's like.
But like that
making Witcher mainstream. I like that.
I liked the game a lot. Shout out to Steven. Like he's probably reading the book still. It's got great lore. The show is just I can't. It's too much. It's. But I'd rather watch a movie at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a discussion there.
Oh, that's what. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
Uh-oh.
Charlie and I watched these movies this week. It's crazy. You ever watched Dragonheart?
No.
That's what we watched this week. I couldn't remember the name of it. Put in the show notes. So we watched Dragonheart 1 and 2.
The hell's that?
So Dragonheart is a movie about basically it's like set in like medieval times. So it's like knights and horses and kings and all
dragons.
Holy shit. So like
that's fucking crazy.
The prince, he like gets hurt in battle.
Why'd you point to yourself when you said the prince?
Because he gets hurt. I pointed to my chest, and he gets pushed into this wall and it gets impaled. It's a little
spoiler.
Yeah, it's a little. Well, it's the beginning of the movie, so I don't know if it's much of a spoiler. Anyway, so he is dying, and the dragon gives him part of his heart. You have to get it's sci-fi fantasy, so you gotta give me a little.
Yikes!
To like save this guy.
You shit on the WWE, man.
I'm not saying you go out and watch this movie. This movie was made in 1996. It's really poorly animated. All these different things.
I think I've heard about this movie.
The dragon's really goofy, but it's oh my gosh.
I think I saw it on Corridor Digital's CGI Artist React.
I'm sure.
I think it's on there.
I'm sure.
It's super bad.
I think they remastered the first one, but not the second one. And the second one was absolutely horrible. God, give me just a second while I pull up the cast here, because the first one's got a good cast. Dragonheart. Sorry, this will be the last thing I say about it. So, Dragonheart, 1996. Budget was $17 million.
For back in the day, that's pretty high.
That's a lot for back then. I just need. Dennis Quaid stars in it.
No way, Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So Dennis Quaid stars in it. It's directed by Rob Cohen, who's also pretty good. Patrick Johnson wrote the story. It's based off a book. Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery.
No way.
That's the rest of the story. Kind of the guy. He's the dragon.
He's the dragon?
Yeah, and that's honestly because the dragon's is a wise mentor figure. I don't know. Great cast movie. It's super corny. It does not hold up to modern day standards. But what I'm trying to get to for this whole thing, I know I'm boring. First one, I kind of liked it. The second one was absolutely horrible. Never watch it ever again. It's terrible. It was one of the worst ones I've ever watched.
Unless you're drunk.
Yeah, made in 2000. It's terrible. Story just goes in terrible directions. Awful. There's 3 new ones. They did a reboot in 2015.
Oh my god.
So they rebooted in 2015. Dragonheart 3, crazy. Then there's Dragonheart 4. It's not technically Dragonheart 4, a different title. And then Netflix just released in 2020 Dragonheart 5.
You shitting me.
So we're gonna watch the other ones. I'll give you a review of it next week.
Cannot wait. I am holding my breath.
I'm pretty pumped for the next ones. The rated PG-13. IMDb has a 5.1 out of 10 for Dragonheart 3. So Dennis Quaid though kills it in that movie. So that's
good actor Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, I love him.
All right, let's move on here.
Okay, I'm sorry everybody. I couldn't remember for the life of me what the heck Charlie and I watched this week, and that's what it was. It was crazy. So
crazy.
Yeah.
What are you playing, Kev?
Okay,
playing
I
games?
have a big announcement for everybody here. I've been waiting for this all episode. Big announcement.
You really rushed to get here 40 minutes in.
Oh, let the episode breathe a little bit, you know? So, we're playing a lot of 2K.
No kidding.
Gotta let the suspense build here. Today.
People are signing off and pausing this podcast as we speak.
My 2K, my player, was awarded Rookie of the Year. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped. I am historically terrible at sports games, let alone a basketball game. And I'm pretty pumped about this milestone, I'm not gonna lie. 90 overall player right now. Beat Zion and Jay for the Rookie of the Year title. Pretty big. Pretty big. Just crapped on John Wall in the first round of the final of the playoffs. So
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. Pretty pumped. I've been having a lot of fun with 2K. So
yeah, I still can't get into it. I don't know. I just like playing other stuff more.
Well, there's good stuff right now. You know, like the Warzone just had an update.
Warzone did just have an update, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of I've been watching more streams, and I've played it a little bit, but they took out trios, and they made the base squad 4 players instead of 3. Kevin and I mostly play together, so we're usually like 1 man down, and now we're gonna be 2 men down.
Yeah, I don't like the 4. I honestly, it really has turned me off by it.
But I did have squad last night, and that was pretty fun.
All 4?
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
it's just,
and they brought solos back, which I'm just never a big solos guy in general, mostly because I'm like ass.
Duos, man. We need duos.
I don't know why they don't just have quads, trios, duos, solos, and then they rotate a specialty mode through.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. I don't know why they do that. It's probably because they don't want to split the fan base. We have 30 million players playing this game right now.
Yeah.
And you can at least have more than 2 modes. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't like the quads. I think it's a bad move. I think it's a really poor move.
It makes the game kind of interesting, though. It's a different play.
I'm fine with that. But, like, as a player experience, like, you know, if you're playing by yourself and you can have 2 random people, fine. If you're playing by yourself and you have 3 random people on your team, that's a different thing we're talking about here.
Well, Warzone players are weird, man. They don't, like, listen ever.
No.
They just want to do their own thing.
And the callouts are still clunky, right? You know, if it's on the D-pad, it's, like, weird.
They did change it. They changed that again.
I know, but it's just, like...
They even changed it again from what you're thinking.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. It's a double tap now to ping or something. I don't know.
It's
just I don't know. They're more emphasizing, like, team play, and I get that, and I respect that, right? But 4 people is just... I don't know. That's why I didn't play Fortnite much, because I never had enough for a full squad.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Well,
but
it was good the way it was. It didn't need to be fixed.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then they're adding, like, higher tiered loot to the boxes and just floor loot in general. You can pretty much pick up, like, any gun in the game now on the ground or in a crate. Like, I dropped my first game yesterday. I got a gold or a rare M4 off the rip.
Jeez.
And then I got, like, a gold sniper off the rip.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be like that.
And then they made the loadout drops more expensive.
Yeah.
But they're making the guns on the floor so strong. So it's like finding that. Like, I found that and I fried a team with it.
Yeah.
Because they had, you know, nothing.
Yeah.
And the reason I like the game is because they always emphasize gunplay, not looting. But it seems like they're trying to make it more about looting and finding money and finding, you know, I can find a gold gun. Maybe I don't need a loadout.
Well, unfortunately, it just feels like they've bought into trying to make it like other BRs.
Which they don't need to.
They
It's
didn't need
better
to.
than them.
Like two or 3 weeks ago, we were just talking about on the same podcast at this same table about how it was great. It wasn't like other BRs.
Yes.
And that's what made this game so popular.
And they're trying to fuck it up, and it pisses me off. Like,
Mhm.
don't put M4s on the ground. You have to buy one. That's why I like the simplicity of the floor loot.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. You get that, and you can get by,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like you're going to run with that the whole game.
No, it's like a stepping stone thing.
Yeah, the point of the game is to get that so you can get your load out so you can go and start running shit.
This is the one BR game you haven't yelled at me for looting.
Yeah, because you don't do it. Nobody does it. It's not a game about looting.
Nope.
And if you loot, there's a purpose to loot, and it's to get cash.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fine. Like, the gameplay is still fine. It's just I don't want to run solos, and then it's it's kind of a commitment to get 4 people on at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm really excited though about the Apex Legends update.
yeah, I'm curious to jump back into it. Not because Warzone is pissing me off with what they're doing,
Well, no,
but I want to mix it up again. I missed playing Apex. Apex is a lot of fun when we played it.
Mhm.
The new update's kind of interesting. There's an
Yeah.
event right now. I don't know if this is for the event, but the map is rotating every like 30 minutes. So probably every
Yeah.
like game and a half,
Yeah,
you'll play a different map, which is interesting.
I love that. I love that.
It just spices it up a little bit
Mhm.
because it gets dry kind of playing the same one over and over and over and over. And every game feels almost the same. You know how kind of it's going to go.
Well, I remember when we stopped playing it, I vividly remember. I mean, a few different times you said this, but you would get bored with the pace of the game.
Yeah, it was
right?
boring. And the gunfights were kind of boring. And I don't know. I was just getting frustrated.
Yeah.
I was also getting shit on and
Yeah.
fried.
So
because
I didn't agree with that. I liked the pacing. I really liked the longer format games. In Apex, and when you play ranked, it pays off to play the long game, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean,
As
but
much-
they also reward kills, but that's
They
different.
do reward kills, but they also reward placing, which I appreciate because you don't have to get a lot of kills to place high in Apex. When you're not playing in that mode, I guess if you're not playing ranked, I can see where not dropping hot every time can get boring.
But it's not even like that. It's just like you drop and then you run 10 miles across the map, and then there's a team waiting in the building,
Mm-hmm.
and they just ambush you, and
Yeah.
then that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I did all that for nothing.
See, I think there's a worse camping problem though in Warzone.
There is though, but it's not. There's like camping on like rooftops and stuff, but usually it's not like.
No man, I've been lit up in a stairwell so
Yes,
many times.
I have too, and there's people hiding in bathrooms and that kind of stuff. But you expect that in that game. I don't play Apex to not be aggressive.
Yeah.
That game is built on movement
Mhm.
and fast-paced gameplay. That's what it's made for. It's not
Yeah.
made for sitting and hiding.
Yeah.
If I want to do that, I'll go play PUBG.
I want to say though, on the record, I think Apex, like playing Apex and trying to get good at Apex, is what has made me a better multiplayer player, like a first-person shooter
Mhm.
player.
No, I agree.
Because I was horrible at first-person shooters for the longest time ever before Apex came out, and because of the movement in that game and the way it kind of progressed the genre, if you will, like I honestly feel like most first-person shooter games, I'm now at least a little bit competitive because of that.
Well, I don't know. I just like being competitive in games. I don't like just to play games just to play them. I like being good at them. That's what pisses me off about like gunfight, 'cause I'm better than these kids. But anyway.
But you do good just because you lose one game doesn't mean you're
Well,
bad at gunfight.
No. I'm not saying that. But like that's why I do like Apex, because there's like a skill gap, but it's
Mhm.
not like it's a positioning game. It's not it's
you
not just
have
straight up
to
guns.
You have to think when you play the game. Warzone, I haven't found at least. Like, you have to be at least somewhat. You have to get the high ground most of the time, but there's not a lot of thinking in Warzone.
There is, but it's not as different. Like position isn't that important. It is important, but it's not as important as it is in Apex.
Yeah.
Because Apex, you can get fried in the middle of the open
Mm-hmm.
if you want, but if you like play it smart and do that kind of stuff,
That's what I mean.
it's a different game. It's a totally different game.
Totally different
And
game.
Warzone plays a little slower, but it's also very like the gunfights are very fast paced, which I love,
Mm-hmm.
and the gunplay feels incredible. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I do want to get back into Apex here soon.
Yeah, I definitely want to start playing some Apex. Warzone, I'm happy with it. I'm getting a little over it though. To be completely honest. So
Yeah.
yeah. Last thing for me at least, PlayStation 5 controller was released. What's your honest opinion on that?
I mean, I want to get in my hands. I think the two-toned color is goofy looking. To be completely honest,
Yeah.
I don't know if they would just make it black or white. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think the two-tone is I think the two-tone makes it look weirder than it actually is.
I agree.
It's a bizarre looking picture that they posted.
Yeah.
But they posted like a side angle and like a, I don't know. They have a couple different pictures on it, and it looks better when it's on the side because you can actually see what it looks like. It looks very skinny and awkward with like the black underneath it. I don't know.
It gives it weird shading. Right?
It does give it weird shading.
Like a weird curvature. It's already different. The curvature is already different, and then the black makes it look even more ridiculous.
So I don't know if that's just like a controller to get people excited. I have a hard time believing that's the one that's gonna ship with consoles.
I don't think they go white. I really don't want them to.
No, go black. You've been going black forever.
Yeah.
Well, gray for the PS1, right? But it's been black ever since.
Yeah.
Just give us black.
I mean,
That's
they've
what we
had
want.
some special different white stuff, but like it's just like
But not stock with the
I don't know.
system.
My personal taste, I don't like the white. I don't like white controllers. I don't like, and to your point was too, is white is almost Xbox, man. Like Xbox 360 made the white thing a thing.
Yeah, but they've even steered away from it. They're going black
It's
now.
dirty. It's
Yeah.
so grimy and like
Like I remember my 360 was even dingy.
yeah.
It's like I don't move my 360. How is it dingy?
So it's just like I have my reservations about PS5 in general. I just want to see more. I'm not, I said this to you the other day. I'm not necessarily staying with PlayStation right now. Haven't chose a side yet, I guess. The PS5 controller, if this is the tone that PlayStation's gonna set, I guess, of like underwhelming and why, I don't know if I can sign up for another generation of that.
Yeah, I just want to see. I don't know. I just want to see stuff.
Yeah.
The waiting game's kind of pissing me off.
The waiting game is annoying, and because Xbox hasn't been as much.
They released the controller. They released what the console looks like. They released all the hardware. And PlayStation did everything too, but they haven't showed off what the console looks like.
Yeah.
And there's like a rumor flying around is because it has like less teraflops or something than the Xbox.
Yeah.
That they're not. They know they don't have this powerful console. But
yeah.
on the same side, they've never had the more powerful console.
No.
360 smoked the PS3. The Xbox One didn't smoke the PS4, but it was better, like performance wise.
And the Xbox
but nobody
X
bought
versus Pro, you could argue that the X is better than the Pro.
Right. I mean, Microsoft has always have the most like impressive hardware, but nobody gives a shit. That's kind of the end of the day. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as it's 4K HDR, like if I can get 60 frames, that'd be killer.
Well, and part of the reason why we even switched to PlayStation in the first place was for the games.
Exactly. So there's no, and I
rather
mean,
than
I'm not gonna buy an Xbox for Halo.
Well, no, not anymore. Not anymore.
That's the thing. There's no exclusive on Xbox that excites me.
The thing that's really frustrating about it is the reason why I even bought an Xbox One all those years ago was for Halo.
Right.
And then
that's why I always bought it.
And then that was a flop because Halo 4
5 or 4
whatever was bad, and the Master Chief Collection was a horrible.
It was a mess.
It's
still not fixed.
No, and it's just I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't hate the controller. It is growing on me. I like that it's USB-C.
I like it's USB-C. I like the ergonomics that they're trying to get because I think the DualShock controller is fine. I like it. It's classic. To me.
Really like it.
It just feels like my growing up days with the PlayStation 2, which is good. It fits well in my hands a lot better. I got small hands, so it gets better in my hands than the Xbox controller. However, I do think I get less cramps with the Xbox. I think it just fits better ergonomically. I don't think it's a better controller. I think it's just better ergonomically. And I think the PlayStation needs to kind of meet in the middle, which is why the DualSense.
Which is why the PS5 controller looks like an Xbox controller, to be completely honest. It looks more Xboxy than it does DualShocky.
Yeah.
And that's fine with me. I mean, I just want to hold it and kind of go from there. But I'm excited about the triggers and it's got haptic feedback.
It's going to be sweet.
All that kind of stuff. So anyway, as far as games go, I downloaded Uncharted 4 yesterday because it's the free PlayStation Plus game of the month.
Yep.
Which I download almost all of them for. Just my gaming library is massive, but I have no storage on my PlayStation. So, but I started playing it because I've heard nothing but good things about this series in general. And I played The Last of Us, which is also a Naughty Dog game. And this game's a blast, dude. I played it for about 4 hours last night. I was up to like 3:30 in the morning playing it. And I don't know, man. It's fun. I think you're going to like it.
Yeah.
It's like platformy,
I like those games.
It's like platformy action adventure, but it's got like a good story. It doesn't sacrifice story for like spectacle.
Yeah.
And like the action is like a way to progress the story. Like it's really immersive.
Yeah.
Like there's a level, it's like the first level in the game. You're like escaping like a prison,
Wow.
And like it feels like you're escaping prison. Like it's pretty cool.
That's
it's
pretty
it's neat.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're in that world.
I've heard great things about it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've always like wanted to get it. It's kind of one of the reasons I bought a PlayStation, like you said before, like for the games.
Yeah.
And Uncharted was always on that list. It was just further down on the list,
Mm-hmm.
and then they released it for free, and I gotta take advantage, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible running through this game, you know.
That's sweet.
But anyway, you have a big announcement.
I made a Twitch account.
Really?
Yep.
And what are you gonna do about it?
Well, I didn't even have a Twitch account before like yesterday. Don't use Twitch. Don't watch streams, anything like that. But I'm gonna finally fulfill my promise of streaming to Caleb Vanderluck, relatively soon. I'm gonna figure something out. I got
What
some
do you have to
ideas in the
figure
works.
out?
I'm not gonna tell you yet.
You're gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Tell me off air.
Maybe.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
maybe.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, I wanted.
I'm the
to
reason
announce
you're
it.
doing this shit in the first
I
place. You're gonna
wanted to-
disclose this.
I wanted to surprise you that I made a Twitch account. It's a big day
Wow.
for me. And I deactivated my Twitter account.
Oh, really?
Got rid of it.
That's why you didn't respond to my DM yesterday.
Was it like,
Crazy.
you sent me a DM on Twitter?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway.
All right, last few minutes of the podcast here. We want to wrap it up with sports.
Yeah, we can be quick here.
Yeah.
Falcons and Buccaneers got new jerseys. What do you think about them? Go.
Bucks, sick. Love them. I really like the Bucks series.
They're clean. They're old. I like the old school ish.
Black letters look
Simple.
good.
I like the simple jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't like them when they're trying to do
I mean,
too much.
think about some of the most iconic jerseys of all time. This is a little bit more deeper take than probably you're expecting me to say.
Probably.
But the most iconic jersey of all time, and I don't necessarily like. I think they look good, but one of the most iconic football jerseys of all time is like U of M football.
U of
Wolverine.
M football?
Yeah, U of M
Yes.
football. It's simple black letters. There's not even text on other than an M sometimes on the pant.
They
like,
don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Hunter filled me in last week about the history of Michigan uniforms.
yeah, but it's simple. It's clean. It's a block letter. There it is.
Right.
I think the best jerseys now, I think the trend should be to go simpler.
I think that's where everybody's going to end up going. Like, that's the rumor with the Lions jerseys, too.
And that's fine. I think the throwback uniforms for the Lions look the best out of the last, 20 or 30 years.
They look all right. I like them.
I like it. I would rather see the throwback uniforms as their main uniform. Honestly.
I don't know. I like their mains, though, man. I do. I know
They're fine. They're fine.
I like the attention to detail,
There's too much. We don't need it. Play football. Don't look good. Play football. Play the
Why
game.
can't you do both?
No, it's not what the game's about. Basketball is about looking flashy. Basketball is about the spectacle. Football? is about-
Basketball's got the most basic jerseys of all time.
No, they don't. Are you kidding me? They have the most elaborate jerseys. Everything's loud. Everything is flashy in your face. I mean, Pistons are behind the times 20 years, but basketball is about the spectacle. It's about the flash.
Sure. So you like the Buccaneers jerseys?
I like the jerseys, the Buccaneers jerseys, because they're simple and they're clean. End of story. Falcons jerseys, I am not a huge fan of. I think they're cool, but this one is where they try to do too much and too little at the same time. Let me explain. The red jersey is awful.
The gradient red?
Yeah.
It's dog shit.
It's so bad.
It's a big swing and a miss.
So bad. I cannot stand it. The other thing, too, I really like the ATL. I like that switch to branding.
It's clean because like the Hawks.
Yep.
Everything's ATL.
Mm-hmm. I think the city as a whole is kind of wrapped around it. Everyone just refers to Atlanta as ATL, and I like that a lot. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't fit the jersey right.
Yeah, it's overly basic. Maybe is the word. I don't know how to describe
It's too small. It's too small.
I like the throwback jersey they have, the all black. I think that's sick.
Sick.
What I did see a piece of material that they put out, and it was the different combinations they will run.
Mm-hmm.
And that looked a lot better than the all white and the all black.
I agree. I saw that too. I do agree.
It was the white top with the black pants. That looks clean.
Yep.
Vice versa. Looked clean.
Yep. I agree. My thing with the ATL thing is when you have a double-digit number and then the ATL's the 3 inches on your chest,
Mm-hmm.
and then the double-digit number is 12 inches on your chest. It's just it's just too much or too little. Maybe too simple is right, but it's not what I was really kind of expecting.
No, it's just I don't know. It's underwhelming.
I like the jerseys they had before. I think the other ones were better.
I didn't know they haven't changed them in like 20 years.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
that's how ahead those other jerseys were, though. They didn't really go out of style.
Yeah, they look kind of dated. They look like a mid-2000s jersey.
But not as bad as like the Pistons jerseys look.
No.
But
a lot of teams, to go back to the ATL thing quick, it's like a lot of teams are adding like the city on the jersey. Like the Jets did it.
Yep.
The Browns did it. Browns got ridiculed for it. They said they look like a college team.
I like theirs more.
I think they have decent jerseys. People talk a lot of shit about them. I don't mind the Browns jerseys. They're also getting a new jerseys. I think next week or the week after or something.
I'm excited for them
this month, and then the Chargers are too. But I heard the Chargers aren't doing anything major.
Yeah, I heard the Chargers are just gonna go to powder blue homes,
which they already did.
But they're just gonna update it. I think. I think
not as bad as the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know if you heard about this or not, but the Falcons were originally going to release their jerseys like next week.
Okay.
They put out like an ad. It was like, I don't even know who it was.
The 14th. They wanted to release on the 14th on Monday, next Monday.
Yes, next Monday. Yeah. And I think they had a video. I can't remember what player it was, but he was like packing up like the lockers of the old jerseys.
Yep.
And then they said the 14th. It was a big dramatic thing.
Yep.
That night, the jerseys all leaked on Twitter.
Yes.
There was like it was like from the video they shot and all the photos they took. It was leaked pictures from that. So all the jerseys leaked the day they dropped that teaser that they're gonna drop the jerseys in a week. Wow. So they just said, "Fuck it, we're dropping them now."
Yeah.
And they just dropped everything yesterday or Tuesday or whatever day it was.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It is nuts. I don't like when people do that. I really don't. But in the same respect, why not just release it? Like, what's the point to wait? You know,
build hype.
Yeah, not really though. Like, it's Jersey.
The Browns teased their uniforms a year ago.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Browns' new jerseys. Was it Browns and Chargers? Chargers, fine. I think they're always gonna look clean. I think they're always gonna be kind of a classic look. The Browns, I don't think have found their identity. So I'm really I'm really excited that maybe this. I hate putting this weight into. I already contradicted myself by saying that. I don't think that your jersey is a representation of your organization. Some analysts say that when your brand is solidified, like think of like the Patriots, for example. They've had the same jersey for 20 years, right?
Ish. Yeah.
Ish. They have a brand that's that's solidified, and they don't need to change the jerseys because they are Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore, obviously. But teams that don't have that are the teams that change their jerseys all the time.
Well, because their product on the field sucks, so their product off the field has to succeed. It has to compensate for that.
So I think the Browns, what they need to do, simple. Don't do anything crazy.
I mean, their last ones are kind of simple. I don't
know. More simple.
I think they need to add more brown, to be completely honest. Like, I like their browns right now.
Brown. I like the brown. I like the brown and orange,
Yeah, I think it works.
Do a brown and orange and a white and
Orange,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But I don't know, because those guys like Baker, Odell,
Jarvis, Landry,
they have to be focused on the game, winning games, not looking.
Well, the problem
cool.
is Baker Mayfield's like 5'9".
That's not the problem.
And he's got small hands.
Yeah. No, he needs to focus on not how he looks, how he plays the game. And I think the Browns as a whole, as an organization, needs to get the stupid helmet out of their logo and just play football.
I think. But what about the old phrase, look good, feel good, play good?
I mean,
why the fuck do you think I wore an arm sleeve in high school football? Because I thought it looked cool, and I thought I was a badass because I had it, so it made me play at a higher level.
Still lost to Manchester.
I mean, we didn't lose to Manchester.
That arm sleeve helped win that game?
No, I was on the sidelines because it was on offense, but I did my part. I didn't allow a single point in the second half.
So I'm saying the jerseys don't matter in football. They don't matter in football. It's not the same. The Jets jerseys do not look good. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
I like them.
I'm not a big fan of the Jets jerseys.
I think they grew on them.
Organization's still bad. They have one of the best running backs of all time. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the class. Still can't execute. Sam Darnold is
dog shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Sam Darnold is one of the best quarterbacks in that draft class.
Yeah, that draft class sucked. Wasn't he with Lamar, though?
No, it was like Josh Allen and all those guys.
Josh Allen's a savage. That man throws the ball like 90 yards. Flat-footed.
Kyler Murray. No, it wasn't. that year.
No,
Wasn't that
I think
year.
it was with Lamar.
It wasn't player. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All I'm saying, jerseys, cool, simpler, better. Throwbacks look better. Lions, take a listen. The only thing the Lions should do, white numbers. No outline.
That's the rumor.
No outline.
That's the rumor.
That's what I want.
Because back in
Or black. You need black jerseys. The Buccaneers all gray jerseys look sick.
Yeah, I think that's a big hit for me.
And I think the Lions have definitely the color scheme. Not to do all gray jerseys again.
No, people
but-
want them to introduce the black because they replaced black with gray mostly,
Mhm.
and people don't really like it. I like it. I think it looks clean. I think it looks modern. But introducing some black back in there might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
At least to outline some shit because the numbers are kind of hard to read.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they need to like bring black into the branding of the Lions. I don't think every team does that either, too.
No, it's just
Um,
it's always been like their fourth color.
Yeah, and just bring it back and then have a black jersey. You know, like I don't know.
But yeah,
All right, that's everything.
that's all we got.
It's
This is only an hour and 6 minutes. We're
know.
slacking here.
it's good. This is good. We could go on for longer, but we're not going to. It's a
Nope.
gloomy day out today. It's raining right now, sideways even.
I want to eat some soup.
We're gonna make some dinner, guys.
Oh, you got that cheesecake in the fridge though.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
we have cheesecake in the fridge.
About to go to Pound Town on some cheesecake.
Cheesecake. All right.
But that's it. Shit, that always
That always scares him.
scares me, man.
All right, guys. Episode 8 in the books.